I have for you now my rankings of the films of director M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm doing this because on the Patreon of my movie podcast, Load Bearing Beams, we did an episode on Shyamalan's The Happening, a movie that is not good. I don't like it, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not enjoy myself watching it, but then when we talked for over the course of 2 hours, I kept repeatedly saying, but this is great, and this part's great, and I love this. So I don't know what to think. But M. Night Shyamalan is my guy, and he had his mid-career slump, and then in 2015 started his comeback with The Visit. A lot of people have never gotten back on board, but I feel like I sniff the air and people are coming back around to M. Night Shyamalan. They like that guy. But I've never hopped off the bandwagon. His movie Signs was such a big awakening for me as a movie fan. And I think he is an amazing, incredible director and a very up and down writer, and often his own worst enemy as a writer, but that's what makes him special. So I'm going to rank 15 of his films. The only one of his movies I have not seen is Praying with Anger, his student film. I mean, he made it while a student, but it was commercially released in like one theater. It's not commercially available now, I don't believe. I've never seen it, but I'm just ignoring that movie. So this is an incomplete list, but we're going to go in reverse order here. And his worst movie is The Last Airbender, and this is the only movie of his that does not feel like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Like it was a movie made for hire. He has no take on the material. It doesn't feel like it's his movie. I have no familiarity with Avatar, The Last Airbender, the intellectual property it's based on, and everybody who likes this says this is a terrible adaptation, and I'm sure that's correct because this movie is incomprehensible. It's also just, it just sucks. Anyway, number 14, Wide Awake. You might not know that M. Night Shyamalan made 2 movies before he made The Sixth Sense. He made Praying with Anger, his student film, and then Wide Awake, a movie he made for Miramax, that notoriously Harvey Weinstein took his scissor hands to and chopped it all up. So it is a little bit incomprehensible, but it's a fascinating movie. It's not that good, but it's dealing with all the themes that he's still obsessed with. Like, how do we deal with the presence or lack thereof of God in our lives and in the world? And this also deals with like a little spooky haunted child. And then a couple years later, he's like, maybe I'll just lean into the horror of that premise, and made The Sixth Sense. After that, number 13, we have Lady in the Water. An interesting failure, I would say. This is the movie that people really seem to start throwing tomatoes at the man because it's not a horror at all. But it's an interesting little experiment. Glass is number 12, and a lot of people really like Glass, and I, again, appreciate the swings it's taking, but for whatever reason, I think the structure of this movie never quite grabbed me. So, number 11, After Earth. Basically, everything above this I kind of like. After Earth is not well regarded at all, and it is the movie that Will Smith, as producer, hired M. Night Shyamalan, but M. Night Shyamalan did do a rewrite of the script. And this movie does feel like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. When you have little Jaden Smith going on this alien planet being haunted and hunted by all these beasts, there's some pretty good suspension, tension, and action sequences. Number 10 is The Happening, and you can hear my thoughts for 2 hours on this movie. Again, not a good movie, but maybe a great movie. And Mark Wahlberg gives either the worst performance of all time or a wonderful like performance art like masterpiece. Either he is miscast or he is intentionally miscast, or he is doing things that we can't even understand and won't be able to understand for hundreds of years.
We're just here to use the bathroom. And then we're just gonna leave. I hope that's okay.
Number 9, The Visit. A fun little found footage movie, nothing remarkable, but this was him just doing no frills, back to basics. Kids go to a scary house movie. Above this, I think all these movies are pretty exceptional. Number 8, Old, one of the best Twilight Zone movies ever, in that this is a Twilight Zone episode, not literally, but it feels like it could be an episode of the Twilight Zone, expanded to an hour and a half, and it rules. Unbreakable, a bit, kind of a swerve from Shyamalan after The Sixth Sense, but it's only grown in estimation, and really kind of prescient about the way that our lives, our pop culture is dominated by comic books and superheroes as our modern mythology, and why that may be and what that says about us. Split is at number 6, just a taut, great thriller and a really scary movie, and James McAvoy gives one of the best performances in an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Number 5, Knock at the Cabin, a movie that is really digging into questions that have been in M. Night Shyamalan movies since the very beginning. God, the environment, and our interactions with both not having any control and trying to grab some control over the world, over a world that is trying to shake us off of it. Number 4, Trap. I freaking love Trap. Just a delightful, wild time at the movies, rooting for a mass murderer. I want the mass murderer to succeed. I want Josh Hartnett, one of cinema's greatest heroes, to get away with all his very upsetting and violent crimes. Number 3, The Village, the movie that had a twist ending that people hate, and I have argued, I have a video on it, that the twist is great and you people just don't understand. And The Village is great, and everything before that twist is also great, and the twist just deepens the movie you have been watching. Number 2, The Sixth Sense, the movie that everybody would probably say is his best movie. It is a pretty perfect movie, a pretty wonderful little movie. I've made a video about this movie that you can even take away the twist at the end of the movie, and it is just as powerful a movie because it is still about, I don't want to spoil for whoever hasn't seen this movie, that even if you don't find out what you find out, you still know that to be the case, if you understand what I'm saying. That you don't have to literally be a ghost to be a ghost. Number 1, one of my favorite movies of all time, Signs. I feel like people are coming around to Signs, but people at the time thought this is a fun movie, but kind of dismissed it. I think for weird reasons. One of the weirder reasons is that people said it's dumb that the aliens are vulnerable to water. And my defense has always been, well, number 1, you just shouldn't care about that. If you care about stuff like that, you're watching movies wrong. Not that you can watch movies wrong, but it just doesn't seem like a fun way to go about living your life, to be like, I'm looking for the problems in what I'm watching. But I also think, like, there's plenty of what do invading forces do if not invade a place without understanding it, bumbling into a situation without understanding the very basic concept that the most abundant resource on this world will kill us. That sounds like something that armies have done through the history of time. And whether or not Shyamalan meant this to be the case, I don't care. That's my read of the movie. A super powerful movie, a scary as hell movie, a great looking movie, a great sounding movie. Those are my rankings. Let me know what you think, and let me know what your favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is and what your least favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is. And please check out The Happening on our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/loadbearingbeams to sign up for Load Bearing Beams Collector's Edition. I thank you.